Alright, looks like we're live on both the Twitches and the YouTubes. This is Tech Support with Coach Steve Money. Let me put my links in the chat and then we'll get going. You got money problems or just want to make sure you're on the right track? You can schedule a free financial assessment consultation at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. I am the Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And you can email me about anything, yes, anything, said financial coaching or anything on my YouTube channel. It's also at the top of my webcam there, webcam frame. And finally, if you like what I'm doing on my channel, you can support me via donations via PayPal. And that is, I hit Control V again, that is paypal.me/Coach Steve Money, which is the bottom of my webcam frame. All right, let's get rid of those. Happy to have hit 4,001 or-ish, 401 subscribers, and as of Friday, I was at 5,000 hours watched. So thank you for everybody that's contributed to that. And we'll get rid of the tech support link there, or the tech support graphic, excuse me, which I just copied right from that. And we sort by new. And let's go. Oh no, I can't bring the chat over because it will, I have display capture on today, so that way if I do anything to show you on my computer, you see, so if I go into settings, etc., you will see all that. So yeah, so let's see what the day brings here. This from the Awful Poet 5 minutes ago. Okay. So I go to my computer and it boots, but it's so incredibly slow, it's unbelievable. My computer normally boots in literally half a second since I have a SSD, right? But it's been 10 minutes and it finally got the Windows boot up screen. This is an Optiplex and put in a 1650, that's the graphics card yesterday. So I think I may have, broke the PSU, the power supply unit, or accidentally unplugged something while putting it in. That's what she said. But I don't know. I doubt the SSD is bad since I only got it in November. It doesn't matter when you get it. Any electronic component, even a solid state drive, which is way more reliable than the older HDDs, hard disk drives, the one that spins inside. A SSD is like a big flash drive where it just is all built in one component, no moving parts. So yeah, you can theoretically have fried anything, but assuming you put in the 1650 yesterday, the video card, you would have tried it right after that. So probably you didn't. If you didn't, maybe you unplug the 4 or 8 pin. Let's get that. Motherboard. Connectors, maybe? Connections. I was going to look for the connections. I want images. Okay, let's see. Let's look at this one. Come on. Okay, so right. Okay, so right up in the upper left corner. No, that's not a good one. Let's try a different one. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay, so tutorialsweb.com. Thank you. Okay, so the video card would have gone in one of these PCIe slots, most likely this one. It depends on where you wanted it and where the openings in your case are for the ports on the video card. But normally like here or here. Would go right there. So, but perhaps in putting it in, if you didn't start it up again, maybe you didn't put in the CPU cables. A lot of people forget that. It's either 4 or 8 pins from your power supply, and that has to be in there for the CPU, which goes right in here, to provide video. So even if you have a separate video card, or if you're using the onboard video card, if your motherboard has that, you got to have that plugged in. Otherwise, that will not you won't get video on that. And so that's the first thing to check when you don't have video. And so that could be the power supply if it doesn't boot up at all. So the power supply would be one of the cheapest components you can buy. So you hope it's that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, different background today because I moved my computer stuff into the living room, so we'd have more room for father-daughter video gaming, but that did not happen while we were here. While she was here, we binged first season of Stranger Things instead, doing a rewatch of that. So I'll be moving this back into my bedroom shortly. All right, let's see. What else did I want to say about the video card? Yeah, so that would be the first thing to check. Also, you want to make sure you didn't hit the memory, because the memory that goes in these slots, how you would fix that is to take them out and put them back in to reseat them, because if they're not making the right contact with the metal inside these slots, then it's not going to work. So it has to be exact. And this also can happen even if you didn't tap it, just from being hot and cold, which is what a motherboard does even in the summer. It gets hotter when you have it on, it gets colder when you turn it on, but just from the hot and cold, makes it expand, just ever so, microscopically even. It makes it expand, and cold makes it contract. So over time, it can move over just a hair. And so that's why you have to take it out and reseat it, and then that will fix that problem, unless it's bad memory. So yeah, the memory or the power supply is what you would like it to be, because otherwise video cards and motherboards tend to be more expensive. So, but it just being slow, you know what, the most likely thing to be bad is the hard disk drive. So just because you have Windows and the boot information on an SSD, if you have a bad hard disk drive attached as storage, even if you aren't looking at a particular file on that hard disk drive at the time, that can still cause problems just by being installed. Same thing with a USB device. If you have a broken USB port or one broken USB device, even if you aren't using it, like if you don't touch the mouse, and you still have problems, it could still be a bad mouse, and that would cause problems with the entire USB subsystem. All right. So yeah, but that's what you would check first, and after that, if it's not the power supply, if it's not the memory, then what you have left for video is going to be the motherboard. This does get video, but it takes a long time to boot up, which I don't think that's the problem on that. I think it's probably either the solid state drive, or if he has a hard disk drive attached for storage, that's probably going to be the problem. most often. Dark mode for PDFs. Whenever you dark mode on PDFs, no, I don't know anything about that. Unplug monitor, plug back in. Well, you shouldn't have unplugged it. Why'd you unplug it? It's from the Witchmaker. 21K monitor, DVI to HDMI cable. DVI plugs into monitor, HDMI plugs into motherboard, okay? Because I've been doing it since the beginning with no problem. One else got a problem. Unplugged the HDMI last night to see if I could connect my Nintendo Switch dock to my monitor and play, and that didn't work. So I plugged it back into my PC. That's exactly where it's been. Now it says there's no input signal. Well, hey, guess what? When you try to connect your Nintendo Switch dock to it, maybe you broke it then. So, I mean, that's the most likely thing. Hopefully it's the cable you broke and not any of the connections on the computer, you know, the video card or the monitor on there. But that's likely it. So, I mean, you hope it's the cable there, and also it's better for it to be an actual cable, which that's DVI to HDMI, instead of being a DVI to DVI cable and then having a small HDMI or DVI to HDMI adapter on it, because a lot of those things are crap. So, I mean, some of them work, but a bunch of them don't, so in my experience. Okay, so I plug it back in exactly where it's always been. Now it says no input, hard shutdown, unplug, plug it back in, flip the circuit protector switch for a few seconds, flip it back off, turn PC back on, still nothing, hard reboot, go more times before it says boot into safe mode, no signal, no beeps or LEDs, cord is firmly plugged in, and triple check. When I unplug or plug in the monitor, it wakes up briefly to show no input signal. That's what I was going to ask. When you don't get video, the first thing you want to check is the monitor itself to make sure the monitor is not bad. So you would turn on the monitor. When you turn on the monitor, you should see the monitor manufacturer's logo on there. And then after a few seconds, it should pop up maybe HDMI or something like that. You should see that on there. And when it doesn't find a signal, it should say no input signal on there. Okay. Yep, do I need a new monitor? It could have been, you could have, you know, I mean, if you go by that it is exactly, you know, what you just did to it last, which isn't always the case. Sometimes there are coincidences. A lot of times there are coincidences, and like something that you did to the computer has nothing to do with what just broke. That happens all the time. But if you screwed up connecting to Nintendo Switch dock to the monitor, maybe you messed up the HDMI cord. Did you say you tried a DVI to DVI cable? Because it looks like both DVI and VGA active. So if you have DVI, why not just use a DVI to DVI on the motherboard, on the monitor? So that's what I would try if you have a DVI cable. And again, the cable would be very cheap. But yeah, maybe you broke it. And this is when you would try it on a different monitor, try it on a different computer. Try monitor on a different computer. And your monitor, your computer with a different monitor. Make sure you use the same ports that you're using now. All right. So that's what you would try there. Otherwise, the next thing would be, like I said, the same thing, the RAM maybe. Because to get video, and here we're not having slow boot, we're just having no video at all. So the checklist is check the monitor, check the cable, check to make sure you didn't unplug the power supply cables, as I said before, to the motherboard, the 4 or 8 pin CPU power cable that is near the CPU. That one, and lastly, and power supply would be next, and then lastly would be the video card itself, or if it's built on the motherboard, that means you need a new motherboard if that's bad. All right. Search through folders of text and PDF file. Let's say I have a folder full of school documents. How can I search through all of them at once without having to search through each one individually? You can search in File Manager. You just go like yeah, and then you do search. That search is quick access, so you would do like, there you go, there's your C drive, and then you just actually click on that, and then you can search the local disk, and you put in any file there. I don't know what the issue is there. I'll put that in there. Nobody put anything? All right. There is search on the right side, the upper right of the File Manager. Which is, again, right there. The one that looks like a folder. Click, just in case, I assume he doesn't know, click the icon that looks like folders. Don't want folder, it looks like a folder. There we go. A lot of this tech support I find is people that like either I'm gonna sound like a bad American here, but either like people in different countries that are trying to make 20-year-old computers run because nobody will sell them a 15-year-old computer for cheaper than they can repair the 20-year-old supposedly computer. So I mean, I don't know what they think they're going to do with a 20-year-old computer, but anyway, it's either that or people trying to do like really weird stuff with their computers. So we'll see if we have any of those examples. All these have been tame so far though. Friend's PC is shutting off after about 15 minutes of being on. Okay. So recently my friend got back, hops on, launched game Apex, 25-minute into the game. He said about 15 minutes. 25 minutes is not that bad. We'll let that go. Apparently he said it was only for his room, which I find is odd. Apparently he gets back on. We launched another game, but after that power went out moment, his PC would just shut off roughly every 15 minutes. Super. He says the PC still runs, but mouse, mic, audio, monitor all shuts off. PC lights stay on though. Power supply. Clearing the CMOS, reset the default settings, and this is my favorite too. Sorry to bother, but could you explain how to do that? Much thanks. Okay, if somebody tells you to do this, clearing the CMOS, doing that should reset the BIOS to default settings. If you Google that, you could get a much better explanation than somebody trying to type something like off the top of his head. And also, when you Google it, you can get usually pictures too, showing you step by step how to do something. So yeah. So, but that would be one thing. But the other thing would be Power supply, possibly. I'm not gonna type that in there. That's probably it could be power supply going out because, as we know from previous episodes, the power supply, a bad power supply, can still spin fans and light lights without being able to boot the motherboard. So it could be that. So he said he had a power. Yeah, I mean that's almost certainly. I'll put that in there then. Yep. Try a different power supply. Since the problem happened after that power outage. Most times, the outage doesn't hurt electronics, but the surge, when it comes back on, does. All right. Let's put a little agua here. Okay. Windows installation hell. Throwaway 13443. Title says it all. I've tried and tried to get the installation media to work for installing Windows 11 on a brand new system I'm building. The specs are all Windows 11 ready and have gone through a lot. I think I'm pretty close, but this SEO of some scumbag sites with common error codes is bloating search engine research, and I figured I'd try on it. It's been over a week since I bought my new rig gear. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're talking about with the common error codes. If you don't like one site, you can go to a different one. Okay, so way better components than I have. Well, I have a 1 terabyte. Why wouldn't you get a 1 terabyte solid state drive? They're not that expensive. Okay, media creation tool to pull the Windows 11 to USB drive, right? And that worked. Yeah, okay. At first I couldn't see the drives, but then I added the Intel driver and can now see them. Okay, so if he can see them, that means he, oh, I see. I see, in the installation. I tried disk part and cleaning the drive, the partitioning, install fails. BIOS to use legacy, not choosing that, seen that, but still failed. Failed install. If you are sure your flash drive and Windows install on it are both fine, is computer, whoops, computer, what is both are on it are both fine, is computer hardware defect. You don't need to partition a drive or anything. Just click to delete all partitions. And just click Next. And Windows install will do all that for you. If that fails too, you have a bad part. If you have an extra drive, especially HDD for storage, disconnect it while you try to install Windows. If that works, you have a bad HDD. Alrighty, so I mean that's all you need. Anytime you try to, if there's no problem with your flash drive or the Windows install files on the flash drive, and you have any type of error, that means the hardware in your computer is bad. At least one component. Alrighty, what else we got? Let's see what time it is. 8:26. Okay, moving right along. Can't seem to find a proper place to ask for help with this. Can't connect calls in Duo. I've never tried Duo, so I don't know. Call never goes through. Proper call stream, never. Yeah, no clue about that. Oh, excuse me. Have two computers in the same room. My main computer only gets about 2 to 3 megabits per second while on a Cat6 cable. My backup PC gets over 900 megabits per second while on the same Cat6 cable. So nothing wrong with that cable. The backup has also been tested with a Wi-Fi card and gets well over 100. Okay. I've tried several options from replacing cables, moving locations, switching to... Now, it's probably, if your backup PC is fine using that same cable and using Wi-Fi, then the problem is that main computer. You know, 2 other PCs now running the same Wi-Fi on one of the other 2. Their program, I mean, it could be, but only thing I can think of would be bad. Since everything is the same except the 2 computers, I think they would be the problem. Instead of the router. It's possible the network jack is bad. You could try a USB or PCIe one. To verify, plug your computer into the modem directly to completely clear the router of being the problem. Okay, let's see. I just gotta check. No, normally don't get people on this stream. Don't get chatters, but every once in a while, I'm gonna make sure. Okay. I mean, there could be some kind of program. Could be you know, antivirus. Could be anything like that. So if the dude writes back, I'll tell him to. Or chick, it could be a chick. Tells me that's not the problem. I'll have him clean up his startup so that nothing else is starting. Intel i7 9700K, and that's your case right there, the Leon, I think. Have no idea why, but my CPU randomly started overheating. Okay, bought 3 new fans. 2 are replaced for the all-in-one and 1 for the exhaust. There's also a red LED light on the motherboard next to CPU. I have no idea why it's overheating, and I'd like to know if anyone knows how to fix it. Okay, so, all right, and so, you know, I mean, here didn't even try. Let's see, red. See, instead of typing it in here, he could have typed it into the Google, and I, of course, there could have just said, just not hit it. A red light near this indicator means that the motherboard does not recognize the CPU, which could mean many things. Either you might not, yeah. Boom, ba-dum, boom, bam. Copy. Paste. There we go. So it could be, yeah, could be one of the pen bent, maybe. Depend. Dead CMOS battery. Oh, can almost, and see that's right there as well though too. So there you go. All right. Samsung secure folder apps visible. Secure folder, hide a few apps. Problem is, outside the secure folder, I can go to settings, privacy, permission manager, pick any permission, let's say camera for instance, and the apps I wish to keep hidden show up on this list either as allowed or not allowed depending on my choice for the app. Is there really no way to completely hide apps in the secure folder? I don't know that I don't think you can do that. I think that's just for documents. I don't think you can do that because when you install a Windows program, well, let's see, is that, oh, this might be on a phone. Okay, well, phone's different then. Yeah, I mean, but it might be the same deal. Like if you were trying to do that on a computer, when you install a program on Windows, it puts things in the Windows registry, etc., etc. If it wasn't there, then you couldn't start it. Then you couldn't open those apps. How do you open those apps if they're completely hidden? I guess you could browse to the secure folder and start it. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like that's a phone thing. No, I don't know much about phones. Computer is low, but it changed to normal when I changed my cable's location. What cable? Let's find out. This is from IXHY Prixie. 2021 May. Bought a computer. There's no problem before until after I decided to buy and install a CPU cooler. Okay. When I start the computer at home, it felt slow. Opening apps like Chrome, games, even up my computer folders felt slow and sluggish. Now, I don't think there's a virus, storage, or internal problem, software problems with the computer because I've checked it. I was confused and decided to took my computer, maybe not, English not a first language, I hope, my computer to my original builder man to check what's wrong, but surprisingly when I booted the computer there, it came back normal. That happens a lot. Like, people bring me a lot of computers that I boot up and don't have any problems with. Came back home, I again booted up the computer and the computer comes back slowly. Power, yeah. Thought that my power outlet maybe having enough power, so I changed my computer location downstairs. Booted up, it was normal. Yeah, so then yes. Thought my problems was solved. Turned out the next day I booted up from the same location. Oh, it was slow again. I don't know what to do from here. I've tried to boot it upstairs where it originally and same. Yeah, your power may be bad. Yeah. So the power in the house might be bad even. Nintendo Switch Pro controller won't connect to my PC. Where is Clay when I need him? He's the Nintendo Switch expert. Let's say I plug it in via USB and it doesn't connect. You might need a special driver for that. Copy. When hardware and devices troubleshooter. Okay. Start menu, add Bluetooth. Oh, maybe you can't, maybe it's not able to go by USB. Via USB. Pro controller or USB. Assuming he has the right cable for that. I assume they can both fit in there. USB-C cable, okay? I mean, if he has some adapter on the cable, if he's not USB-C on both ends, if he has some adapter on it first that changes it from USB-C to a different USB, maybe the adapter is bad. Oh, USB, they use the USB-A to USB-C cable. Okay, but maybe he's using the USB-A to USB-C cable and then having a different adapter changing C to whatever. Yeah. So that's all I got on that. But yeah, I mean that's all it takes sometimes. People don't want to Google, people don't want to figure out anything themselves usually. Now let's see this from Dr. Suave. Boot manager not working. I keep getting insert boot medium selected boot drive. When I started my computer, I made sure the boot order and BIOS was correct. Made sure everything was still plugged in properly, but no luck. The next thing you would do is try to boot to a flash drive. Boot to Windows installation flash drive and click repair instead of install. Yeah. Alright, what else we got? Ryzen 5, 3600 dead. I'm sorry to hear that. Andre891. A couple months ago, I decided to change my CPU from a 3000G to 3600 and was having fun back then, like it worked well and getting high performance. And then after all the fun, I reverted back to 3000. Why? That's what I don't understand. People do stupid stuff. Why? If it was fine, what are you messing with it for? And then after a few weeks later, I decided to change CPU again. Why? Yeah, again to 3600. This time it didn't work. What I mean it didn't work because it turned on fans were spinning GPU fan 2, but it didn't boot to BIOS. and also keyboard caps lock. Yeah. So I had to and to my 3000G, and everything worked like usual. So obviously I picked 3600. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the answer to that is maybe messed around and screwed up the CPU. Again, maybe you didn't. The 3000G maybe could get video without the 4 or 8 pin CPU power cable connected. But normally they have to have that, either whether it's on board or whether it's a discrete, as they call it, which means dedicated, which means not part of the motherboard video card, and you just plug the card into the motherboard. And so, yeah, it could have broken it by taking it in and out, by doing your little crap there. So yeah, I mean, why do that? Maybe you wanted to make sure it worked for selling it or something, who knows. Packet loss. Buying a new Ethernet. I guess that means cable. I think it also happens on my phone. Do a packet loss, tell them receive it. There are 2. Try a different router. Try a different router. Whoops. Didn't mean to kill that. Reddit.com/r/ not Dave Ramsey. Did that earlier. There we go. New. Alright, let's do the brand new ones. Google Hangouts, hot chat help. Not sure where to put this, but I really could really use some help with this one program. Ending another one of the ventures. Google Hangouts is shut down. It's Google, and it just changed to Google Meet now. Yeah, I don't know specifics on that. Okay, so we got some messages. This is all I have. Tough. No way to find out with. Whoops, not follow. I didn't mean to follow that. Replies right there. No way to troubleshoot then. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry about that. If you don't have a friend or family member that has stuff, let's see what Miguel, since everything is the same, yep. So I got an adapter from Ethernet to USB and got a little more, yeah. Yep, you are welcome. See, look, who's right? Who was right? That's right, I am. Alrighty. You are welcome. He got that Ethernet to USB adapter really fast. He must have had one of those laying around there. Fun. Alright, so what do we want to do? New, okay. Move Steam library, Discord, Spotify that are from C to D by copying and pasting them, but they're not all working right. Of course they're not. Of course they're not. Yeah, there you go. Moving by that method doesn't work. The registry looks for the files in the old location. There might be an app that would help you with that, but not now, I don't think. Only action now is a reinstall to TGW drive. You want them on to the drive, I guess. Moving them back won't work either. No, I think moving them back will work because the registry is still the same. So I think moving them back will work. Unless, what did he change? Did he change something? I think moving them back will work as long as you don't have a bad computer component. I need that Kelly G clip for when I was right earlier where she said, "You were right, Steve." There it is. I have it right there.
Oh, you're right, Steve.
See? Cool. Okay, that's enough. All right. Laptop cable mode isn't working. Can a brother get a table mode? Alright, I think that's tablet mode maybe? Touchscreen stopped working. Bad screen probably. Usually bad screen, or it could be the cable not correctly plugged in. Maybe the cable worked loose either on the motherboard or attached to the display. That's not generally going to be a driver issue, but you could reinstall the driver for that. iPhone 7 screen and camera is broken. Definitely no help with an iPhone. Help with Zmail. Program to send anonymous emails, but I'm new when it comes down to things like this. I was wondering if anybody could help troubleshoot me. A program to send anonymous emails. That should not exist. Okay, unique Homo sapien monitor will randomly change refresh rates from 144 to 60 and even sometimes 30. We'll say on a program. Okay, so let's likely bad monitor. Try it on a different computer. Let me make sure he didn't do that already. Let's see, change display board. How? Yeah. So yeah, and people. So you upgraded the video card, which is probably way more expensive than that monitor. Maybe, probably. Yeah, definitely 3070 Ti. Yeah. So yeah, so and if you tried it on a different video card, yeah. So yep, that would be the deal you had to do, and of course, then you always do the inverse of that too. To try that monitor, which we think might be bad, on a different computer, you try a working monitor on a different monitor on your computer. Wireless display issues across PCs. Wireless display. I don't know anything about that. New PC sleep issues, not waking properly. Right. So a recent update. I think I talked about this before. Recent Windows update made the new hybrid sleep, where it's like half shut down, half sleep. Made that default. So if you're having issues with that, a lot of people are, try to, you can Google how to disable hybrid sleep, and then you just can't let it go to sleep anymore either. Usually is what works, by getting rid of all of that stuff. Browser tab doesn't snap the full screen when being dragged to second monitor. That doesn't happen automatically. I know you could drag the tab to the top edge of the second monitor for it to maximize. I never knew that. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see. Oh, I didn't go anywhere probably. Let's just go to YouTube, and then we've tabbed a new window. So it's on a new window. So I'm going to try to drag that over to my other monitor up in the upper left. Yeah, mine doesn't do it either. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, never mind. Okay, so that did do that. It used to maximize with putting in a specific, mine doesn't. Mine doesn't. Whoops, just tested mine, and it requires putting the top left corner, that's me in the corner. That's me dragging windows over and trying to get them to maximize. It requires putting the top left corner of the window in the top, or at the top left of the monitor screen, obviously screen, in order to maximize. No clue if Windows was able to do, Windows did that previously on Windows. Do not disturb turns on when a certain contact calls. Interesting. My friend gets a phone call from her girlfriend. The do not disturb button will be turned on. My friend gets a phone call from me. The do not disturb button. What does that mean? I don't have much more info on it. You could ask your friend instead of trying to go around your friend to find out what's up with that. What's up with that? Ooh-wee. Help isolating work and home networks. Recently got a remote job and likes to set up a network so that our work provider laptops connect to isolate. Yeah, you would have to have a switch and to separate those out. It says AC. Needs to go from the modem to the one of the home computers needs to be hardwired. Okay. Guess networks are yeah, I just know you gotta have a switch to do that. Random video from Dad sent to me on iPhone. Okay. Before he told me it was spam. Yeah, but most likely adware. It was ad. Can I download, grab a radio stream? It's for a 4-hour program that played my request and gave some tips on how to deal with advice. A lot of people make that mistake. They have it. This word is advise. That's the verb. You're looking for the noun is advice. ADVIC. Grab a radio stream. I mean, any audio recording program can do that. Razer Kiyo Pro, acting really strange before not working. It's broken. I think that's a mouse, is it? Once program started, I opened OBS and add the video capture device source in there. Only two devices that can be added, USB video device. Neither work. Find a fix online. Okay, great. At least tried that far. So let's see what this bad boy is. Is it a webcam? And this is what you can do before. Instead of copying it and open the tab and paste it, you could just hit search Google for that and automatically do a new. Oh, it is. Oh yeah, that's right. This is. I have a knockoff version of this one. I got from the Amazon for $30 or so. Fun. It's listed in my video description. All the hardware and software that I use, including Streamlabs, OBS. Okay, so yeah, the Razer stuff is horrible because you have to. Maybe you don't have to, but it comes with the freaking software, the Razer software, and that sometimes wants to be like a computer optimizer as well, which is not advised to have a hardware company do your optimizing as well. And in addition to that, it runs in the background all the time, so that takes away resources, etc., etc. So if you can use your Razer Kiyo Pro by just installing the driver without installing the Razer software, do that. Let's see, okay, device manager, right click the camera I'm trying to use and go to properties. Go to driver tab, click update driver, and then right, and pick. Oh, this is using just the USB video device, the standard built-in Windows. Maybe it won't work with that though. Go to OBS and former USB options. Switch. Bad camera maybe. Try it on a different computer. People never want it to, they never want to think they just bought something new and it's bad. They never want to think that. They always want it to be some setting. Look, you see how much trouble he went through. And I guess some people, just don't think like that. If your computer was working fine and you can't have the code 10 error and something that breaks everything, I don't know. It'll pretend to work. It's bad. Try it on a different computer. If it doesn't work, it should work right out of the box. Especially if you buy a brand new computer, people buy a brand new computer, open it up, it doesn't work, and then they want to work hours and hours and hours on it. You just return it and get a brand new one. That works right out of the box. Time is it? Let's do one more. It's 1 minute till 9 o'clock. We've done an hour. PC won't turn on. Excuse me. After force shutting down. So playing a bit of PUBG, yo. That's PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. So like a battle royale with cheese. And the game froze my entire computer after a while, forcing me to hold the power button down to turn the thing up. And that's what you have to do sometimes. But when you do that, when you turn it off like that, you could cause corrupt files. The game freezing the computer could cause corrupt files already. But definitely when you don't do start shutdown, then it can cause corrupt files, and so you may have that problem. Yeah, a very frequent occurrence. So yeah, eventually you screw it up. Power button has absolutely no effect on the PC, even after unplugging and plugging back in. Not even the fans will turn on. Yeah, motherboard or yep, you got it. Power supply, you hope. Poor motherboard, bad. And the reason you hope that is power supply is because it's cheap. There's problems with Google. It's a problem. And so by Google, maybe it means Chrome, not the entire company. Just started randomly getting ads by TestPit, and now it does a Yahoo search instead of Google. All right. Doing all search engines. You can try doing a system restore to a date before the problem happened. And whoops. And or scan with Malwarebytes free trial thingy. All right, that was the bonus one. I was gonna bounce. Okay, nobody else has responded to my wonderful help, but I did get that one right. Now I'll see what that looks like, if it's exciting, and I might make that a highlight. We'll see. It didn't really show anything. I'll go through it and see if there's any other thing that, because I've turned some of these into help videos, short help videos there. So it's the computer playlist, and let's see what we got. How to run system file checker, which attempts to repair them as well. So, and if you think you have, if you've done that, if you had to shut down your computer holding down the power button, or if you've done anything other than hit start shut down, and you think you might have some corrupt files, this shows you how to do that. A minute 46 long, so not bad at all. This was a tech support with Coach D Money Extra. I searched whether to build or buy a new computer, and that changes from time to time. And so with the components that were in this particular Dell that I was looking at, it was much cheaper to build, but they could have been trying to clearance out some of that model maybe, or who knows, or they got just a super deal on some components, who knows. But that was a pretty good gaming computer, and as I did a spreadsheet that shows you the difference in costs on there as well. Let's see how to download Windows 11 or 10 media creation tool from Tech Support with Coach Steve Money. A lot of people tell you to use some tool called Rufus and get the ISO from Microsoft. That's the DVD image of it, and make it work like that. But why not just make a flash drive and cut out the middleman there directly from Microsoft's program? You download this media creation tool, download it, and you execute it, and it comes up and says, do you want to upgrade this computer, or do you want to create installation media? You hit create installation media. It'll tell you need an 8 GB flash drive, so you put that in and you hit next, and you wait for it to be done, and then it's done. Then you put it in the computer you need to repair or that you're installing Windows in, and there you go. To speed up your computer, disable startup. This is a wonderful one. 2 minutes 6 seconds. shows you how to get the one thing that is similar with almost all computers that you've had a lot of time with, is that you've downloaded and installed so much crap on there that you don't need, and in some cases don't use at all anymore. And so if you get those out of startup when Windows starts up, you can leave them on the drive. That has no problem if you want to eventually use them, or use them once a month or something like that. That's fine. They don't need to be starting every single time you start up Windows. That makes your computer slower. So, and how to use Windows Event Viewer to troubleshoot. So that's like if you have a crash or something like that, you can check Windows Event Viewer to see if it logs any issues or any errors before the crash. So, and sometimes that does happen. I do put the old man video gaming, the PC building simulator game that I play. I do put this in here because that's basically just like the same thing as tech support, is computer knowledge there. So I do put these in the same playlist. But yeah, I came up across this because this is something stupid I was doing for Streamlabs OBS. I think I'd always started it run it as administrator, and then for some reason I just stopped doing that. I don't know why, but I show how to change this to automatically run as, or you can just hit, like right here, you can hit Stream Labs OBS right there, so you have it right there, and then you just click Run as Administrator. But I have the shortcut on the desktop. Where is it? I'll just show you right here. Now you don't have to use that, but you can use this if you need to use it as administrator, and that's what that little shield right there means. And you see, you can do it like that as well. You can right click there and do Run as Administrator, and you can change the shortcut to always Run as Administrator. You do Properties, Security. That's not it. Where is it? The shortcut. Advanced. Run as Administrator. Okay. And then then you can just double click it. No, it does only change the shortcut. That doesn't change this. If I just click that, it will not open as administrator. So that's when you got to come here if you do that. So you can either do that and run as administrator, or you can just double click this and it will tell you it's running in administrator mode. Is that all right? All right, what else? Anything else in there? The Last of Us 2 remote play stream test. I did that when I was first, the first time I tried the PlayStation remote play, which basically how it allows you to stream without getting a separate video capture device is the remote play will basically stream the computer through the internet or through your home network, which it uses my own home network. Best to leave the internet out of it if you can. It streams the PlayStation screen to your computer, and the remote play software from PlayStation allows your computer to control it with the wireless PlayStation controller connected by the USB cable to your computer, and it allows you to control the PlayStation. So, and I did that one. I wanted to do that one because that one would be the highest, that would push the PlayStation the most, and also the graphics on my computer the most of any PlayStation game, and so I tested it with that. Cool. All right, so I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. If you want to help me out, the best thing you can do is subscribe. I can't get any money from YouTube until I get 1,000 subscribers. So I'm $5.99 from that. How about that? I've come a long way. I've been doing this about a year. I've ramped up the amount of streams that I do. And so hopefully that is helping. And I've found a couple things that people like Oak Island. So I do a no cap recap of that. And that has helped as well with Vitade. I've had 5,000 hours in a year's time watched. So thank you for that. But you can, if you are having those money problems, or you just want to make sure you are on the right track, you can click the schedule free consultation, or you can click the link in the top of the chat or in the video description. Click financial coaching. If it'll work, there we go. You can select the date. Let's use May the 4th be with you. You click the time, and it will let me know, Calendly will let me know when you would like that appointment, and I will email you back to let you know what information I need from you in order to accurately assess you financially. That's the PayPal link for donations. That's paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Email is CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. You can email me about anything regarding tech support, about computer stuff. I don't mind, spending a couple minutes trying to help you out. No problem. Instagram is CoachSteveMoney, no spaces. So make smart, technical, and financial decisions every day.